Have you noticed how life seems to have lost its color? The things that once made you laugh, that filled your heart with excitement, now feel flat, heavy, or even meaningless. You try to enjoy a movie, a conversation, or even a simple walk, but it all feels dull. Nothing seems fun anymore, and somehow that emptiness follows you everywhere. Maybe you've wondered, am I broken? Is something wrong with me? The truth is, you are not broken. Feeling this way is a signal that there is something inside you that has been neglected, ignored, or suppressed. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists, would tell us that this feeling is not a punishment, but a message from your soul, urging you to pay attention. We live in a world that constantly demands productivity, perfection, and control. From the moment we wake up, schedules, obligations, and expectations pull us away from the simple pleasures that once came naturally. Over time, our hearts harden. Our inner spark dims because we have forgotten how to listen to ourselves, how to honor our needs and desires. Life becomes a series of routines, and the fun we once knew becomes a distant memory. But what if the emptiness you feel is not a curse, but an invitation? What if it is trying to tell you something profound about who you are and what you have been avoiding? This emptiness often comes from the parts of yourself you have pushed aside, the dreams you abandoned, the curiosity you silenced, the emotions you denied. Jung called this your shadow, the hidden and unacknowledged aspects of your psyche. Ignoring these parts of yourself might feel safe in the short term, but in the long term, it slowly drains life's joy. The shadow doesn't exist to harm you. It exists to guide you back to wholeness. So ask yourself, where did the joy go? When did life start feeling heavy? Take a moment to reflect, because noticing the emptiness is the first step toward transformation. The journey ahead is not about forcing happiness or chasing pleasure, but about discovering the truth within yourself, embracing it, and allowing your natural curiosity and wonder to return. This is where your real adventure begins, the path to understanding why nothing seems fun anymore and finding a way to feel alive again. When we stop feeling joy, it's easy to blame the world, the people around us, or the circumstances we're in. But the truth is far more personal and far more empowering. The emptiness you feel isn't a punishment from life. It's a mirror reflecting what you've neglected within yourself. Every time you ignore your curiosity, dismiss your emotions, or suppress your desires to meet someone else's expectations, a little piece of your vitality fades away. Life becomes functional rather than joyful, efficient rather than meaningful. Yet the human spirit is remarkably resilient. Beneath the dullness, beneath the fatigue and frustration, there is a spark still waiting to ignite. That spark is your authentic self calling you back to life. Many people try to fight this emptiness with distractions, scrolling endlessly on their phones, binge-watching shows, overeating, working harder, or seeking validation from others. These strategies might temporarily numb the pain, but they never heal the root cause. Jung teaches that true transformation begins when we turn inward, confront our shadow, and explore the feelings we've been avoiding. This means acknowledging the dissatisfaction, the boredom, and the disconnection without judgment. It means asking yourself difficult questions. Why do I feel so disconnected from life? What parts of myself am I refusing to see? What dreams have I abandoned? Facing these questions is uncomfortable, and that is precisely why most people avoid it. Yet, discomfort is the doorway to growth. When we stop running from our inner truth, we begin to rediscover what it feels like to live fully. It's not about forcing yourself to be happy or chasing constant excitement. Life's joy doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from alignment with your inner self. When your actions, your choices, and your daily life reflect your values, passions, and true desires, even ordinary moments can become extraordinary. The laughter, the wonder, the sense of fun that once seemed lost starts to return naturally. One practical way to reconnect is to notice the small things that spark your curiosity or pleasure, however minor they seem. Maybe it's the smell of coffee in the morning, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, or the way music moves you. These seemingly trivial experiences are signals that your soul remembers what it means to feel alive. Jung believed that by paying attention to these signs, by listening to the quiet whispers of your unconscious, you can uncover the parts of yourself that have been waiting for acknowledgement. These are the pieces that hold the key to experiencing life with depth and joy again. Another essential step is to embrace creativity, play, and experimentation. As adults, we often equate productivity with value, but Jung reminds us that the human psyche thrives on expression and exploration. Even something as simple as doodling, journaling, or dancing in your living room can awaken your senses and reconnect you to life's pleasures. Fun is not frivolous. It is necessary. It's the natural expression of an engaged, healthy psyche. Without it, we drift through existence like shadows of ourselves, going through the motions, but never truly living. Perhaps most importantly, be patient with yourself. The process of reclaiming joy takes time and courage. It requires daily awareness, intentional reflection, and a willingness to embrace all aspects of who you are, even the uncomfortable or painful ones. But the reward is immeasurable. As you nurture your inner world, you will notice subtle shifts. Colors seem brighter, interactions feel richer, and the monotony of life begins to dissolve. The spark within you grows into a flame, and with it comes the realization that nothing is permanently lost. Joy, curiosity, and wonder are always accessible when you are willing to look within. Sometimes, when nothing seems fun anymore, we start to believe that life itself is meaningless. Days blend into one another, and even activities that once brought joy feel heavy and pointless. This is not a failure on your part. It is a signal from your psyche. Jung teaches us that the human soul craves authenticity, and when we live inauthentically, the spark of joy fades. The feeling that life is dull or tedious is not a punishment. It is an invitation to examine how far you have drifted from your true self. Often, we are so focused on fulfilling obligations, meeting expectations, or chasing external achievements that we lose touch with what makes our hearts come alive. But there is hope. There is always hope when you are willing to look inward and reclaim your life. Rediscovering joy begins with awareness. It requires you to pause and observe your own experience without judgment. What is it exactly that feels empty? Is it your job, your relationships, your routines, or even your own expectations of yourself? Identify the areas where your energy is drained and your enthusiasm is absent. Many people avoid this step because it is uncomfortable, but discomfort is the compass pointing toward growth. When you acknowledge where your life feels lifeless, you take the first step toward transformation. Once awareness is established, the next step is conscious action. Jung emphasized the importance of integrating the shadow, the parts of ourselves we reject or ignore. These neglected aspects often hold keys to vitality and fulfillment. Maybe you have abandoned a creative passion, suppressed a curiosity, or avoided a challenge because it seemed impractical. Revisiting these elements of yourself can ignite a sense of purpose and joy. Start small. Pick one thing that excites or intrigues you, no matter how insignificant it seems, and commit to engaging with it. The goal is not perfection or external validation. The goal is reconnecting with your inner life and honoring your authentic desires. Connection with others is equally vital. Fun and fulfillment are not solitary experiences. They are amplified through meaningful relationships. Seek out people who resonate with your values, who encourage curiosity, and who remind you of the simple pleasures of life. Sharing laughter, exploring ideas, or engaging in playful activities can reawaken parts of yourself that have been dormant. Jung believed that human relationships are mirrors that reflect both our strengths and our unresolved tensions. Through these connections, we not only experience joy, but also gain insight into ourselves, deepening our understanding of who we are and what we truly want. Another essential practice is gratitude. When we are disconnected, we often overlook the abundance in our lives. Gratitude does not mean denying pain or pretending life is perfect. It means acknowledging what is present, however small, and allowing it to nourish our inner world. Even noticing the beauty of a morning sky, the sound of birds, or the warmth of a loved one's presence can shift your perspective and rekindle a sense of wonder. Gradually, these small recognitions accumulate, creating a fertile ground for joy to flourish again. Finally, patience and self-compassion are critical. The journey back to engagement with life is not linear. There will be days of excitement and days of emptiness. This is natural, and it is part of the process of becoming whole. By consistently practicing awareness, embracing your shadow, reconnecting with passions, nurturing relationships, and cultivating gratitude, you can restore the feeling that life is worth living. Joy is not a permanent state. It is a practice, a habit, and a choice you make daily. Each conscious step you take strengthens your connection to yourself and to the world, allowing fun, curiosity, and wonder to return. As the feeling that nothing is fun anymore persists, it often reveals a deeper tension between who you are and who you think you should be. Jung believed that the psyche constantly seeks balance, and when we ignore our inner needs, life begins to feel dull. This tension can manifest as boredom, irritability, or even a pervasive sense of emptiness. But instead of resisting these feelings, lean into them. They are signals guiding you toward growth. Each moment of dissatisfaction is an opportunity to ask, what is missing? What part of me have I neglected, silenced, or denied? By facing these questions honestly, you begin to uncover the path back to joy. The journey requires courage. It requires you to confront aspects of your life that may feel uncomfortable or uncertain. Maybe you have become entangled in routines that no longer serve you, or maybe you have avoided your true desires out of fear of judgment, failure, or the unknown. Jung referred to this as the process of individuation, the act of becoming who you are meant to be, distinct from the roles society or others expect you to play. It is not a quick or easy process. It demands patience, reflection, and the willingness to step into unfamiliar territory. Yet it is the path that leads to genuine engagement with life. Exploration is crucial. When we feel bored or disconnected, it often signals a lack of novelty or stimulation for the psyche. This does not mean seeking distraction or superficial excitement. It means engaging deeply with life in ways that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Read books that challenge your perspective, explore creative outlets that allow self-expression, and seek experiences that stretch your understanding of the world. Even simple actions, like taking a different route on a walk, learning a new skill, or conversing with someone outside your usual circle, can spark curiosity and awaken dormant energy. Every act of intentional engagement is a small rebellion against the monotony that keeps your spirit dormant. Another critical aspect is embracing your emotions fully. Jung emphasized that emotions are messengers, not obstacles. When we dismiss feelings of sadness, boredom, or dissatisfaction, we create internal resistance that blocks joy from returning. Instead, allow yourself to feel deeply. Observe your emotions without judgment. Reflect on what they reveal about your values, desires, and boundaries. When you understand the messages behind your emotional responses, you gain insight into what truly matters to you and where you need to make changes. This emotional literacy strengthens resilience and opens the door to richer, more meaningful experiences. Creating a sense of purpose is equally essential. Fun and excitement are amplified when they are aligned with meaning. Consider what actions or projects make you feel alive, proud, or useful. Whether it's helping others, pursuing a personal goal, or cultivating knowledge, connecting your daily life with a larger purpose creates a framework where joy can thrive. Purpose does not eliminate challenges, but it transforms them, giving even mundane tasks a sense of significance. Finally, embrace the power of small rituals. Structure your day with activities that honor your inner world. Morning reflection, journaling, creative expression, or mindful movement can serve as anchors that keep you connected to yourself. Over time, these rituals build momentum, turning moments of awareness into habits that nurture curiosity, pleasure, and engagement. By combining awareness, courage, exploration, emotional honesty, purpose, and ritual, you can gradually dissolve the sense of emptiness and restore the feeling that life, in all its complexity, is worth experiencing fully. When the world feels dull and nothing seems enjoyable, it is often a reflection of a deeper disconnect from yourself. Jung believed that we are constantly seeking wholeness, yet modern life encourages us to fragment our attention, suppress our instincts, and prioritize external expectations over inner needs. This disconnect can make even the most pleasurable experiences feel flat or meaningless, but within this tension lies the opportunity for profound transformation. The first step is to notice the emptiness without fear or judgment. By simply observing the sensation and acknowledging it as part of your current experience, you begin to regain a sense of control. It is not about eliminating the feeling immediately. It's about understanding it as a messenger pointing toward areas in your life that need attention. One of the most powerful tools to combat this sense of emptiness is self-reflection. Ask yourself, what have I been avoiding in my life? Which desires, curiosities, or dreams have I neglected because I feared failure or criticism? Often boredom and dissatisfaction emerge when we live according to others' expectations, or when we pursue external rewards at the expense of inner fulfillment. By reconnecting with your true self, you create a foundation upon which joy and engagement can flourish. Start small. Spend a few minutes each day journaling, meditating, or simply sitting with your thoughts. Notice what excites you, what frustrates you, and what you secretly long for. Over time, these observations provide clues about the direction your life should take. Another essential aspect is embracing creativity. Jung often emphasized that creative expression is not reserved for artists. It is a fundamental human need. Creativity allows the psyche to express itself in ways that words alone cannot capture. Whether through writing, painting, music, movement, or problem-solving, creative engagement awakens dormant energy and reconnects you with the joy of possibility. Even small acts of creation, like cooking a new recipe or rearranging your space, can spark curiosity and delight. The key is not perfection, but presence. The act of immersing yourself fully in the process rather than the outcome. Connection with others is equally transformative. The feeling that nothing is fun often emerges when we isolate ourselves or fail to share meaningful experiences. Seek out relationships that inspire, challenge, and support you. Engage in conversations that stretch your thinking, share your thoughts openly, and listen with genuine curiosity. By connecting authentically, you experience life through a broader lens, and moments that once seemed mundane can take on new significance. Human interaction, when approached with openness and honesty, becomes a source of vitality and excitement, reminding you that life is richer when shared. Nature and the environment also hold a profound capacity to restore wonder. Jung often pointed to the natural world as a mirror for the psyche, a place where patterns, cycles, and beauty exist beyond human manipulation. Spending time outdoors, observing the rhythms of life, and noticing the subtle details of the world around you can awaken feelings of awe and curiosity. Even brief encounters with nature, a walk through a park, the sound of rain, or the warmth of sunlight on your skin can ground you, refresh your mind, and rekindle the sense that life is worth engaging with. Finally, remember that transformation is gradual. The feeling that nothing is fun is not a flaw to be fixed immediately. It is a signal, a call to engage more deeply with life. By reflecting on your inner world, expressing creativity, nurturing relationships, seeking purpose, and connecting with nature, you create a fertile environment for joy to return. This journey is not about avoiding discomfort, but about using it as a compass toward meaning, fulfillment, and a renewed sense of excitement. Over time, the world ceases to feel flat, and even simple moments carry the potential for wonder, connection, and delight. As you continue to navigate the feeling that nothing is fun, it is crucial to recognize the power of meaning in transforming your perception of life. Jung believed that a life without meaning is like a vessel without water, empty, fragile, and unable to nourish the spirit. When pleasure alone fails to inspire you, when entertainment or distractions feel hollow, it is often because you have lost sight of purpose. Purpose does not need to be monumental. It can be as simple as dedicating time to learn, create, or contribute in ways that align with your values. By consciously directing your energy towards something that resonates deeply, even ordinary moments gain significance, and the sense of boredom begins to dissolve. Self-discipline and the ability to face discomfort also play a profound role. Life's richness often hides behind the veil of challenge and effort. When you resist the temptation to avoid difficult tasks or uncomfortable truths, you create space for growth. Jung emphasized that psychological maturity arises from confronting the shadow, the aspects of ourselves we ignore, deny, or fear. By acknowledging your inner struggles, fears, and insecurities, you reclaim agency over your life. This confrontation does not need to be dramatic or overwhelming. It can begin with small acts of honesty, such as recognizing a recurring pattern of avoidance or taking responsibility for neglected areas of your life. Each conscious step towards self-awareness strengthens resilience and reignites the capacity to find joy in meaningful engagement. Another essential factor is cultivating presence. The modern mind is often fragmented, scattered across memories of the past and anxieties about the future. This constant mental chatter creates a sense of emptiness, even in moments that could otherwise be pleasurable. By practicing mindfulness, you train yourself to inhabit the present fully, to notice subtle sensations, emotions, and thoughts without judgment. Mindfulness allows you to rediscover the depth in ordinary experiences, the taste of food, the rhythm of your breath, the warmth of sunlight, or the texture of a loved one's hand. Through sustained presence, even moment, as you reach this final stage of reflection, it becomes clear that the feeling of emptiness, of nothing being fun anymore, is not a verdict on your life. It is a signal. Jung would say it is a message from the psyche, urging you to awaken, to confront the ways in which you have disconnected from yourself and the world around you. This moment is not a punishment. It is an opportunity to reclaim your vitality, to engage in life with intention, courage, and awareness. You are being called to step beyond passive existence and enter a space where every action, every thought, and every encounter carries potential for meaning. Transformation begins with small, deliberate choices. You can start by observing where your energy is going, noticing what truly nourishes your spirit versus what simply distracts you. Ask yourself hard questions. Am I avoiding challenges because they are uncomfortable? Am I clinging to routines that feel empty out of habit, not fulfillment? Am I allowing my fear of failure or judgment to dictate my engagement with life? These inquiries, while uncomfortable at first, are gateways to clarity. They illuminate patterns that keep you trapped in monotony and reveal paths toward renewed enthusiasm and purpose. Connection is also vital. Human beings are wired for relationships, for shared experiences that deepen our understanding of the world and ourselves. When you feel that nothing is fun, it may be because you have isolated yourself from authentic interaction. Seek connections that inspire growth, challenge your assumptions, and remind you of your shared humanity. Surround yourself with people who encourage curiosity, creativity, and honesty. Even brief encounters, moments of conversation, or acts of kindness can reignite a sense of vitality that television, social media, or superficial distractions cannot provide. Creativity is another avenue for revitalization. Jung emphasized the importance of expressing the inner self through acts of creation, whether writing, painting, composing, or problem-solving. The act of creating bridges the internal and external worlds, transforming feelings of emptiness into tangible, meaningful output. Creativity does not require perfection or recognition. It thrives in the process itself, in the courage to bring something new into existence. When you engage creatively, you honor your unique perspective, and life begins to feel vibrant again. Embracing challenges rather than avoiding them strengthens resilience and restores engagement. Life will always present obstacles, and the temptation to withdraw can be strong when you feel uninspired. Yet each challenge is an opportunity to test your capacity, to explore unknown territories, and to uncover latent strengths. By facing difficulty intentionally, you cultivate a sense of agency and empowerment that reinvigorates both mind and spirit. Above all, remember that meaning is a personal pursuit. Jung taught that it cannot be handed to you by society, by external success, or by fleeting pleasures. It must be discovered within through reflection, conscious choices, and alignment with your deepest values. Life regains its vibrancy not by chasing constant amusement, but by living deliberately, by honoring your inner world, and by daring to explore the full spectrum of experience. As you internalize these insights, the feeling that nothing is fun anymore loses its grip. You learn that joy is not a fleeting sensation to be pursued, but a byproduct of living authentically, consciously, and courageously. Each moment carries potential, each encounter holds significance, and even the mundane is infused with meaning when approached with awareness. By embracing your shadow, cultivating curiosity, nurturing connections, and expressing creativity, you awaken to life in its fullest dimension. The question remains, will you let this moment pass as another instance of emptiness, or will you rise to meet the call of your own psyche? The choice is yours, and in that choice lies the possibility of rediscovering wonder, engagement, and the profound satisfaction of a life fully lived.